Welcome to Edison's new series, Real Assets in an Uncertain World. We live in an era of increasing geopolitical instability, higher inflation, and tightening monetary policy. So can investing in real assets provide sustainable, less correlated returns? Industry leaders from sectors such as renewables, infrastructure, media, and technology are joining us to reveal their views and deliver actionable insights for a global audience. In this session, we're looking at Roundhill Music Royalty Fund and an asset class you may be unfamiliar with, high-quality music intellectual property. With me is Josh Gruss, who's CEO and founder of Roundhill Music Royalty Fund. So, Josh, first of all, tell me, why are music rights such an attractive asset class? And it's one that we haven't really heard of before, say, about 10 years ago.
Yeah, thanks, Vivian. So I think that music royalties are a very interesting and exciting asset class because if you invest in a basket of music that everybody knows, that's very iconic, those cash flow streams can be extremely durable. The music is consistently performed around the globe, whether it's on radio, whether it's on television, it's embedded in movies and TV shows. And this creates this very annuity-like cash flow stream that can be very attractive to invest in. But at the same time, it's very non-correlated because how the music performs really has nothing to do with other asset classes or stocks or bonds. And in times like these, when there's a lot going on, now that they're publicly traded pure play music companies, you can actually see in the performance of the stocks that they really don't ebb and flow with the rest of the marketplace.
It's so interesting. And we've had a lot about, big sales of back catalogs recently, Bob Dylan, for instance, or Stevie Nicks. But why is now a good time to be investing?
Well, I think at Roundhill, we're getting a lot of inbound calls from investors of all sorts right now for the very reason that it seems like a safe haven with all the craziness going on. I mean, there's certainly other reasons to invest in, but in terms of right now, it feels like investors are recognizing that non-correlated nature and are looking at music as a safe haven to invest in because it is quite safe and durable, as I was saying before, and non-correlated.
So what you're saying is we'll still be listening to Stones songs well into the next century. So there are quite a number of companies in this area now. I mean, I think of a company like Hypnosis, for example. What distinguishes Roundhill's offering from others in the market?
Yeah, there are a few things. One is Roundhill was formed in 2010. So in terms of a track record, there really is no competitor that has the amount of time and experience in the space as we do. And we've now done over 150 music catalog acquisitions, over $1.5 billion worth of acquisitions. But I think probably the biggest differentiator is that we really have a strong foundation in the property management of these rights. So a lot of our competition will buy these catalogs, but then hand over the property management, which is kind of the nuts and bolts of how the royalties get collected and licensed. They hand that off to a third party, which in our opinion, it ends up meaning you lose value because your assets get lost in the shuffle at another shop, and there's not much control that you have to add value to those songs anymore. So by doing it all in-house and having 10 years of experience doing it, we think we're pretty good at that at this point, and we have a track record of actually adding value to the assets.
So you're really sweating this asset, whereas other companies are perhaps just parking them and letting others do it.
Yes.
Is the portfolio you have, and do give us an indication of some of the music that you've got in it, in the shape that you'd like, or are there particular genres that you'd like to have greater exposure to?
I would say at this point we have a really large scale, fully diversified portfolio, and some of some of the artists that I just adored growing up and was a huge fan of, I've sort of lived out my dream of now being able to say I own their music and have met the people that created that music, and that's super exciting for me.
Like, give me an example.
I mean, just very recently, we acquired for the London listing Alice in Chains, their portfolio, and so 2 weeks ago, the main songwriter, lead guitarist in the band, Jerry Cantrell, invited me to his show, and we sat backstage in his dressing room, and he let me play some of his guitars, and we talked music.
And you died and went to heaven.
Pretty much. So it's, you know, I'm very passionate about what I do. I love what I do, and moments like those certainly add to the enjoyment of it. But all in all, you know, out of Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest songs of all time, we own about 10% of that list. So you know, we've definitely made our mark in terms of picking up some of the best music around.
Do you look at new music as well and try and pick up an artist before they really make their name, or isn't that part of the strategy?
Yes, so certainly investing in brand new music is more risky, and it's a different strategy that some of our competition really focuses on. For Roundhill, we limit what we spend in that area to 5% of our capital. So we don't risk that much money in that area, but with what we've done so far, we've had over 60 #1 songs within the last 5 years, mostly in the country marketplace. So we've done quite well. We have a big office in Nashville with very keyed in people who help make that happen.
Now, in the music business, we've seen extraordinary structural changes to the market. You know, there's been a huge change of balance between music publishers, artists, distributors, and we're seeing challenges now to Spotify's dominance. So everything is possible in the future. How do you see all of that challenge influencing demand and pricing for assets?
Yeah. Well, there's an old adage, which I think still rings true, which is content is king. And when you have all these different forms of distribution, it's hard to, you know, predict in the future what's next after streaming, or what's the next technology platform that everyone's going to turn to. But for us, we sleep super well at night because we know that if they need music, no matter what the technology is, they're going to require licensing our music, our songs. So that's a really good place to be in. And whether it's streaming or, you know, vinyl coming back to, you know, record levels, which I never would have predicted that vinyl would be marching back to the same level it was, you know, in its heyday, or whether it's the meta universe or something else, NFTs. If they want to license the music, that's the content that we own. So that's a very good place to be in.
Josh Gruss, thank you so much for talking to us. I think you probably have the job that everyone wants to have. But as you say, we all need music in these difficult times. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vivian.